Came over here for no reason at all. I hate Eve's, like, slowness sometimes, but it's alright.
Request accepted. Autopilot engaged. Autopilot engaged. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive to Stargate. Active. Warp drive active.
Please give me my mouse. Why do you do that? You're so fucking stupid. Fucking piece of shit developer. How many times have I called you that tonight? Because you are. You're kind of a piece of shit developer. Some of your problems send my mouse flying off the screen and stuff like that. You're dumb. How do you not fix this stuff before you release this game? Other games don't do this to me. Why does yours? Eve has never done that to me, not once. It's fairly easy to take your mouse off the screen in Eve. You still don't fucking alt-tab all the fucking time like that. That's your problem. That's your coding. Sucking dick live in real time. Somebody should sue you for it. It's literally like bad business practice. It hurts kids and it's bad for all of us.
Approaching Stargate.
I gotta go back and go back to where I was. Yeah, there's what I was looking for. I was like looking for any obvious ore or anything. That looks pretty good. Good job there.
Autopilot jumping. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
No, I just did that one. Is it like I can't play the flute anymore? Oh, I guess I have to like buy the songs. I guess I have to buy the songs, huh? Yeah, like if I don't know them to part. Yeah, I guess I haven't. Then a harmony is 2 minutes. Just give me that one. You took my mouse off the screen, you idiot. Why?
Autopilot jumping.
Stop doing that. You fucking suck.
Autopilot jumping. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active. Warping
It's a
to
really bad
Stargate.
problem that I should troll your piece of shit developer ass over. If it happens every goddamn fucking 5 minutes, over and 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 over, this mouse goes off the screen every 5 fucking minutes, and I call you a piece of shit developer right to your fucking face. I hope to see you one day and call you a piece of shit to your fucking face and yell at you for the mouse going off the screen over and over and over and over every fucking 5 minutes for the entire time that when I first played this game, it didn't do that. Does now, though, a lot. Goes off the screen all the fucking time. I have no idea why. No clue why. Never played a game that does it as much as this game. Fucking idiot piece of shit developer has no clue probably even happens. Doubt they read their complaints at all. Doubt they care. Doubt they ever fix any of the complaints, any of them. I doubt it. I don't think they care. Fuck you.
Approaching Stargate.
Every time the mouse goes off the screen, it really feels like someone's binding my hands behind my back and I can't do anything, take my power away. I feel powerless and abused by a developer, and it fucking sucks. It fucking sucks. I'm fucking so sick of it. Every fucking 5 minutes, mouse goes off the fucking screen. I hate you so much. I wish they would sue you for doing this to kids. Fuck you. Now I guess I'll take the free teleport. If it didn't happen every 5 minutes, I wouldn't yell at you. Why was that necessary? I sat there for so long, no contact, nothing. I go to teleport and there's 2 dudes wailing on me from nowhere. I swear to God, you designed the games like this. Why? Why do you do that? Oh my God, I was totally fine for 10 minutes. The minute I do anything, 2 guys are immediately my personal space wailing on me. Fallout, all these games do that. The minute you're fucking teleporting, they're in your face wailing on you. It's so dumb.
Autopilot jumping.
I feel like I healed and got nothing. No. Stop. Get out.
Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
I forgot what my spec was for a second.
Approaching Stargate.
Man, that's hard. Fighting in this set. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, Spear would have made that really fucking easy. I like Great Cleave. They appear to have raised the levels here. So the gear that drops off this stuff is actually probably really good. And I didn't know Great Cleave was level 65. It used to be like level 53. I know it was. It used to be 53 to 55. Now it's 63 to 65. And that, I did not know that. I'm like seeing all kinds of good stuff here and mobs and stuff. And like, or no, this guy's 43. So yeah, right? I was like, this used to be like 53. You are so annoying. Just die. Stupid ass wonky New World mobs.
Autopilot jumping.
Can't believe I went all the way there and my belly was full. So stupid.
Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
Oops, the back camera, sorry. Ah, take my camera off the fucking screen. My mouse off the screen again. Took my mouse off the screen again. Asshole.
Autopilot jumping. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active. Approaching Stargate. Approaching Stargate. Autopilot jumping. Warping to Stargate. Warp drive active.
Pretty mixed reception, unlike the recent cinematic reveal trailer, which absolutely everybody hated. This gameplay trailer has around 3.5 million views on YouTube, 81,000 likes to 150k dislikes. Some people don't like the art design, others don't like the very action-focused combat, which is a far cry from the CRPG roots of Dragon Age Origins. Others worry about how the game approaches
Here. We don't want to look conspicuous. Just get out of here.
like the recent cinematic reveal trailer, which absolutely everybody hated. This gameplay trailer has around 3.5 million views on YouTube, 81,000 likes to 150k dislikes. Some people don't like the art design, others don't like the very action-focused combat, which is a far cry from the CRPG roots of Dragon Age Origins. Others worry about how the game approaches dialogue choices and consequences. A lot of complaints across the board, but I do think it's way too early to judge a lot of this stuff. Dialogue, for example. This is a game that lives or dies by the quality of its writing, and just like you can't judge a book after reading its first 3 pages, you can't judge the quality of the writing based purely on the intro sequence. Combat depth is another one. Important to note that this is just a level 1 character with like no abilities. It's obviously going to be deeper than what they're showcasing here, but how much deeper, I don't know. Visually, I kind of find myself liking it for how stylized it is. Don't get me wrong, I would have preferred this to be like a grim, dark, blood-smattered affair in the vein of Origins, but I do like that BioWare are committing to their visual style, and I think that it looks unique. Some people say it looks like Fortnite, but I think that's a little reductive, and the town sequence in particular really stood out to me as being something that we hadn't quite seen before. So look, am I on board with this? No, not yet, but I definitely am keeping an open mind. These sorts of games are big and they offer a lot in terms of characters, storytelling, gameplay, and exploration. I certainly want to experience at least some of that for myself before rushing to any judgments. One game that is well and truly done and
Autopilot
dusted at this
jumping.
point is Suicide Squad Kill the
Approaching
Justice League.
Stargate.
Obviously, we have covered this one extensively.
Why are
so
you
no
talking
need to
about
repeat
it
that
still then?
territory.
Shut the
But while
fuck
Summer Games
up.
Fest was going down, Jason Schreier of Bloomberg released a behind-the-scenes report about what happened and what's likely to happen.
Stop
next.
talking about it
I can tell
then.
you that it was full of bombshell reveals, but the truth is, it's very much what you'd expect. Studio leadership was ill-equipped to design.
Why are we
live
talking about it? I
services
thought you did this a
so
couple
well-spent
weeks ago.
designs,
Why do we care
offerings,
now?
huge sections of the
We
game
know
were
you don't like
designed
this
and built before
game.
being tossed away,
You're really
like a vehicle
reaching.
system that felt entirely superfluous, given that the core gameplay loop was entirely built around character traversal. Concerns were raised along the way, but a culture of toxic positivity would
Traversal?
see issues unanswered, and Warner Brothers executives had absolutely no capacity whatsoever to judge what they were looking at, believing that they had another billion-dollar franchise on their hands until those negative previews started pouring in. Tri says that Suicide Squad is now getting bare-bones support, not at all hard to believe given the studio just cancelled its regular community updates
Approaching
and will now
station.
only communicate on an as-needs basis. Tri says they will deliver the promised DLC roadmap, but there's no reason to believe that Rocksteady will stick with this game after that. Interestingly, he says that Rocksteady are now assisting on a Hogwarts Legacy Director's Cut, which is not announced by the way,
What?
so that's news. But it's also a huge bummer that a studio as
Autopilot
storied as
jumping.
Rocksteady are essentially relegated to support studio status, working to make a director's cut of a game they didn't even release. Schreier says that Rocksteady are in the process of pitching their next game, which will likely be a single-player title. Let's hope they get the
Warping
chance to
to
make it.
station.
A quick lightning round to finish off.
Active.
Miyazaki has two passions in life, it seems. Poison swamps and talking about how much he'd love to see a Bloodborne remaster without actually making it. Speaking to PC Gamer, he said, quote, "If I say I want one, I'll get in trouble as well. But it's nothing I'm opposed to," end quote. Nice, man. Thanks. Very helpful. Looking forward to the next interview where you say the same thing in 20 years from now. We're still pleading for a Bloodborne
Docking
remaster.
request
Valve is being
accepted.
sued in the UK for $650
Bloodborne
million
came out like 8 years ago. I don't need a remaster of
Potential
Bloodborne.
competitors by
What are you
demanding
talking
price parity
about?
clauses, limiting the
I don't
ability
need
for
I don't
purchasers to
need
make
another
games cheaper on other
Bloodborne.
platforms.
I don't need
They
it
also take
this soon.
exception to the 30% cut that Valve demands.
I don't need
which
another
is super
Souls-like,
excessive, and yeah,
frankly.
it most likely is. The suit alleges that 14 million people in the
Approaching
UK have been
station.
overcharged for games, and the claimant is seeking compensation for each of them. Best of British luck with this one. And finally, remember that 8K sticker that Sony put on the box of every PS5 when the screen industry was still trying to make 8K a thing? Well, they've given up, and thankfully, so have Sony. They've removed that 8K label from PS5s due to a lack of support. If a lack of support is the metric, then I wonder if they'll take down any mention of the PSVR 2 from their website. We'll have to wait and see. So, other than all the Summer Games Fest stuff, what else got announced or delayed this past 2 weeks? Well, be sure to pay attention to the moves that Apple are making in the core gaming space. After cornering the entire mobile market, Apple now turns its attention to bringing real video games to their Macs and mobile devices. At the recent WWDC event, Apple revealed a slew of games headed to Mac, including Valheim, Frostpunk 2, RoboCop Rogue City, Power World, and tons more, as well as mobile ports of games like Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil 2, and the recently released AC Mirage. Speaking of which, Ubisoft says they're doubling down on
51
their
for
commitment to Apple hardware,
Sumptuous
and we should
Rabbit.
absolutely expect plenty more games to release on both
Docking
iOS and
73.
Mac.
accepted.
Given how quickly Apple Silicon is progressing and how impressive the current range of iOS ports have proven to be, I can definitely see this segment
Disabled.
continuing to grow so long as
Waypoint
Apple
reached.
continue to invest in it. Metallica is coming to Fortnite Festival. That's the Guitar Hero-like game mode that Epic put out a little while back. I've had a few headline acts join in the past, and so Metallica is a nice fit. More interesting though is that Epic are adding a Battle Royale mode to Fortnite Festival. It's 16 players and the lowest performing people get kicked out at the end of each song. True story, Edmund is a Guitar Hero fanatic, and when he wrote up the show notes for this one, he wrote, quote, "I'm gonna fuck everyone up," end quote. Go get him, Edmund. Avowed's release date may have...
Is Fortnite Festival DMCA is the most safe to stream? No, you cannot do Fortnite fucking Festival. No. I was like, wait, I can't do Fortnite Festival, can I? No, not at all. Of course not. Why would they? Oh, yeah, no, not at all. No.
Leaked courtesy of Obsidian, the people making the video game. Obsidian posted a blog where they said, quote, "The last few months at Obsidian Entertainment have been fast-paced and exciting.
Ooh.
Since what you saw at the Xbox Developer Direct this past January, we've been busy with Avowed getting it ready for its 12th November release 2024, end quote.
12th of
the language
November,
there
huh?
implied that date would be old news, perhaps assuming that the most recent Avowed trailer at the Xbox Showcase would have delivered as a release date. But no, that did not happen, and so Obsidian quickly took down that blog post before re-uploading a corrected version without the date. Still, I'd certainly be marking your calendar since Obsidian kind of played their hand with that one. One first-party Microsoft game we didn't see during their showcase was Ara History Untold. It's a 4X game, which is a pretty unique offering in Microsoft's portfolio. This one was earlier revealed, but now has a release date locked in for September 24th. Bit surprised we didn't see this one at one of the bigger showcases either. Visions of Mana is getting its first new mainline entry in over 18 years. It's a red letter day for JRPG fans, or at least it will be on August 29th, which is when the game arrives for all platforms bar the Switch. Conscript is a very promising looking indie.
Wait, now what? Now what?
Years. It's a either. Visions of Mana is getting its first new mainline entry in over 18 years. It's a red letter day for JRPG fans, or at least it will be on August 29th, which is when the game arrives for all platforms bar the Switch. Conscript.
Visions of Mana. What is that? What is Visions of Mana? What is Visions of Mana? Why does it look like Secret of Mana? March, huh?
Don't you worry, Hina. Any monsters we meet along our journey to the Mana Tree won't lay a finger on you.
What is it? Are you selling something? You folks in the habit of staring at strangers?
You're finished!
Yeah! New Mana game, huh? It's on Windows, huh? Okay. I'm open-minded.
Guys, we've got some interesting
Final
Nintendo
Fantasy
Switch information,
Tactics,
RPG
huh?
news, and a little bit of Xbox hardware information as well to go over, and something that I know you guys are going to love. With
Visions of
producer
Mana.
had a long time for what they are. Then when asked by Automation if his declaration meant that he was taking care not to let your series identity...
Oh my god, it's Rabbites and stuff like that.
Oyamada ultimately affirmed, quote, "I think the visuals of the Mana games are distinctive characteristic. Therefore, it's best to deliver the game based on the developer's creative vision. For example, there are many different types of characters in the Mana series," he concluded. "I think the fun of the game is encountering this mysterious world and its inhabitants, and because of that, we don't have a strong focus on a particular audience. However, we do work on the game while bearing in mind that the Mana series is loved by fans from all over the world." Now, this is a really good interview and some fantastic thoughts from him, because I get that quite a bit from people talking about from the outside looking into Xenoblade. Oh, they should change this. It should be more like Kingdom Hearts in combat, or it should be more like Ys, or it should be more like this or that. And it's like, no, this is the creative vision that the producer wants to have, and they're hoping to get new people in, as people who played Xenoblade Chronicles back in the day, and now as they get older, they can recommend it to other people, if they have kids, cousins, whatever the case is. And I feel that this evolution of the Mana series coming to new platforms and having a new game for the first time in nearly 2 decades, a decade and a half or something like that, this is going to be a good way to get more people into the franchise. And I think that having it on a multitude of platforms and having...
I think I'll buy this one. I think I'm going to buy this game. It's going to be $60, but...
going back to the roots, but then also adding in some new stuff is what keeps the identity. 1 has so many good things about it. Not even a remaster or remake in the modern day, and fans have been chomping at the bit for anything about Final Fantasy Tactics and it coming back. Now, we had the NVIDIA GeForce leak a while back that showed that Square Enix was working on something, but it's pretty much been radio silent since then, as other games have came back, like Tactics Ogre. We've had new Tactics games like Triangle Strategy. We've had stuff like Unicorn Overlord. There's been a lot of great Tactics games
that's
come about
good.
and have success selling well. So does that...
These are not piece of shit developers. They don't release games that have any problems, I would say. I would say you can play it from start to finish, zero problems, zero bugs, zero issues. They're not piece of shit developers, you know? They're really not. They're just not like New World or any of these MMO RPG fucking dickheads who do not give a shit about how bad their quality of life is, like their quality of life, like torture is sometimes. Yeah, like sure these games probably have problems, but they're not game breaking and annoying like mouse off the screen or anything like that. These are not piece of shit developers. These people are selling games to kids and they're doing very well and they should.
That mean Final Fantasy...
You won't find a bug in this game, not easily anyways. In an MMORPG, I bet I can find your bug inside of 10 minutes. I can probably find you 5 or 10 bugs right the fuck away. Most of them really annoying and probably really bad to quality of life. I was saying all these single player games, no. You can look, but you probably struggle to find it. You'll have to look for Easter eggs and stuff like that, or problems in the level design that you wouldn't normally see on initial inspection and all this. Like it's just, you know, but I mean with MMORPGs, I'm constantly battling bugs inside of 5 or 10 minutes. Doesn't matter what game I'm playing.
Tactics is
Eve has it the least, but Eve still has its problems like anything else, you know.
Closer than ever before. Will we see it soon? Well, it seems like Square Enix agrees here. Shoutouts to my man Stealth, because in a recent interview, Square Enix producer / director Yoshi P says it's about time for another Final Fantasy Tactics game to be made. Now, this was a huge interview with the gamer. They talked about Final Fantasy 16. They talked about a lot of the DLC stuff. They talked about Final Fantasy 16 having a tactics game. There's all sorts of things that they did discuss, but the biggest thing here is that somebody high up in power in the ranks at Square Enix that has influence and can get a budget and get things approved states that it is time for Final Fantasy Tactics to come back. And I agree. I think that Final Fantasy Tactics needs to come back in some way, shape, or form. I think that the most ideal thing to do with Final Fantasy Tactics is probably have a really nice remaster of the original game and pair that with a brand new game as well. Now, they did this before, or at least they've done it before, with the strategy when it comes to a different franchise at Square Enix, and that was Valkyrie Profile. If you remember a couple years back,
Yes.
they wanted to do a brand new Valkyrie Profile game,
Yeah.
which they did, and it wasn't really that good. And then they also did a re-release or remaster of Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, which is really good. The original one from the
Lenneth?
PS1.
Oh,
And
yeah?
unfortunately, the new game for Valkyrie...
Wait, oh, they redid the PS1?
Valkyrie Profile game, which they did, and it wasn't...
Oh, wait, I'm thinking of a different game. I don't know Valkyrie Profile very well.
really that good. And then they also
the game I'm thinking of, it's like you're a giant mech tank and you can shoot and stuff. It's so cool, and it's like an RPG mech game, but it's also like a battlefield game, and you have like a battlefield and you're the mech on it, and it's kind of cool. It like had turns and stuff. It was such a good little game on the PlayStation 1, but I don't remember the name of it, unfortunately. I thought it was Valkyrie Profile, but maybe not. That's a game I don't think I ever played, actually. I'm trying to get to Ice Harvester 2's. Oops, now what happened there? You did one but not the other? Oh yeah, we're gonna and then drones, right? And then you, drone bay, and fitting. Yes, drone bay and fitting. I wish it wasn't so finicky. It's so fucking annoying. This game breaks immersion all the fucking time. It's so annoying. Come on. I don't know. Where is the ice harvesting drone? There. Yeah, we're ready. Go undock. I don't even know if this op is even worth attending at this point.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
Did a re-release or remaster of Valkyrie Profile Lenneth, which is really good, the original one from the PS1. And unfortunately, the new game for Valkyrie Elysium is not that good. It's got its moments, but it's not that great of a game. And they said the Xbox hardware team is considering different hardware for to put it into evergreen territory.
Yeah, Xbox should go to handheld and stop trying to make fucking games. In my opinion. That's really dire, but I mean, I actually kind of believe what I'm saying. I think Phil should give up now.
If it continues this. Now, I still haven't completely beat the game yet. I'm in the middle of it still. More people into the franchise, and I think that have in Japan for a long time. Now, this is from Bounding Into Comics. Shout outs to them for the roundup on this. So here's what the producer had to say. He's been there since 2009 as well. The original interview was from March from the website automation. So here's what he had to say in general about the series and its appeal for overseas players and Japanese players. Quote, in Japan, there are many people who have been playing the series for a long time and are familiar with the IP's history. So the reaction has been half expectant and half anxious, the producer told the outlet. On the contrary, overseas players showed a lot of curiosity about the game, what it entails, including if it would be available on platforms that they own. The difference between the reactions is something interesting. Now, he was also asked any plans to see how you would reach out to Western players when it comes to the future of the series, and the Mana producer said this. I get the feeling that many people who picked up Secret of Mana back in 1993, or in Japan it was called Seiken Densetsu 2, at the time it came out, were young, like I was, because I regularly receive feedback from people who play the latest entries through the lens of their childhood experiences with the series. I hope that as they grow older and become parents, they will recommend the Mana series to their children and tell them about how fun it is. The unique atmosphere and design might make some people feel that it's a bit childish, he added. However, these are the strengths of the Mana series. Rather
They are.
than changing
Yes.
these features that make the Mana series, I hope that new players will come to like these games that have been popular in Japan for a long time.
I've always
for
loved
what
them.
They are. Then
They are
when
truly
asked
great.
by Automation if his declaration meant that he was taking care not to let your series identity become westernized, Oyamada ultimately affirmed, quote, I think the visuals of the Mana games are distinctive characteristic. Therefore, it's best to deliver the game based on the developer's creative vision. For example, there are many different types of characters in the Mana series, he concluded. I think the fun of the game is encountering this mysterious world and its inhabitants, and because of that, we don't have a strong focus on a particular audience. However, we do work on the game while bearing in mind that the Mana series is loved by fans from all over the world. Now, this is a really good interview and some fantastic thoughts from him, because I get that quite a bit from people talking about from the outside looking into Xenoblade. Oh, they should change this. It should be more like Kingdom Hearts in combat, or it should be more like Ys, or it should be more like this or that. And it's like, no, this is the creative vision that the producer wants to have, and they're hoping to get new people in, as people who played Xenoblade Chronicles back in the day, and now as they get older, they can recommend it to other people if they have kids, cousins, whatever the case is. And I feel that this evolution of the Mana series coming to new platforms and having a new game for the first time in nearly 2 decades, a decade and a half or something like that, this is going to be a good way to get more people into the franchise. And I think that having it on a multitude of platforms and having it to where it's going to be going back to the roots, but then also adding in some new stuff is what keeps the identity of the Mana series and what keeps it fresh and fun for everyone, whether you're a newcomer or you're a classic old school fan like myself, where I played the old school Secret of Mana on the Super Nintendo back in like 1993. I remember playing it and being blown away that you can play an RPG, a traditional action
in
RPG
real time
like this with 3 players. So
in real
I do
time.
think that
Yeah,
that's the charm in the series.
it was real
and I'm
time.
so glad
There
that
was
he
no
said
there
this.
was
Very
there was
cool.
no
Not trying to
pause
westernize it,
or
not
active
trying
battle
to
or
get
anything.
the Call of Duty crowd or trying to get the
Yeah, it was good to hear him speak passionately about this game, because I love the Mana series too. I'll probably just buy it just to support it, probably. The state of blockchain gaming in 2024 and what lies ahead. Okay. Let's see what he has to say.
Them had a significant presence as far as Web3 gaming is concerned. So, Flavio, basically, are we seeing this sudden surge in blockchain gaming, and what would you attribute that to?
Yeah,
I don't think they can make a blockchain game that I would like.
Okay, guys,
it would
we've
have
got
to
some
have
interest-
it would have to have like New World Combat, and that's hard to do. Oh no. So how's this going? Good. I should probably compress. This money is slower than Pokeven. I will not probably come back here. Oh, Mercurial's back. Hey, no, what? No, I don't want you to do that. I told you to compress, damn it. I don't know what they did with my pen. Here it is. Okay, what was that? Then you just okay. Well, anyways, I'm gonna go back and go here. Well, this was a good camp. Maybe I should open dot. I open dot and then close freeze, I guess. Okay. So open dot. Well, no, open water 3 to pull him. This is the right way to do it. Look, I'm going to get a whole cast off. It was not enough, but whatever. This one was annoying for some reason. Oh, damn it. Did you blind him? Oh, he suicided. Yay. Nice. Well, I lived. Oh, that was good. I like the sound of the water. It sounds good. So, now what? Ooh, look, over there. Yeah. Lots of money. Merp, merp.
The asteroid is depleted.
No, you're not mining for some reason.
Promising looking indie that I profiled a while back and I'll put this on your radar segment. It's a PS1 style horror game set in the World War I trenches. It had a Steam Next Fest demo which was excellent. This is pretty much a solo dev project, a person based in Australia of all places. Love to see it. We finally have a release date for this one. It's locked in for 23rd of July for all platforms. Speaking of Aussie indies, XO1 arrived for Xbox and PC back in 2021. Fantastic game. Visually, there's nothing else like it. It's finally making its way to PlayStation. It'll arrive for both PS4 and 5 on June 27th. I really recommend checking this one out as it is great. One big announcement that kind of got buried under the Summer Games Fest chaos was that the PS2 classic The Thing is getting a remake. It comes courtesy of the one and only Night Dive Studios, who've done terrific work on other remasters like Star Wars Dark Forces, Turok and System Shock. This is well timed since it's based on the classic John Carpenter movie, and Carpenter is just about to release an actual video game called Toxic Commando. Carpenter is actually an avid gamer, regularly firing off tweets about the games he's playing, so I'm sure he's chuffed that The Thing is coming back. No date for this one yet, but it's headed to all platforms. Speaking of remasters, the Lollipop Chainsaw Massacre remaster also got a release date this week. It'll arrive on September 25th for all platforms. Big news for Shovel Knight fans. Yacht Club Games announced that Shovel Knight Shovel of Hope DX, which is a definitive edition of their classic retro-inspired game, is on the way. This one features 20 playable characters, which is a lot more than was ever present in the base game or the DLC. Yacht Club also teased the next Shovel Knight release, which they say will launch Shovel Knight into a whole new dimension of gaming. Definitely being pretty suggestive with that little line. No date for this DX edition yet, by the way, so stay tuned. And finally, Ubisoft just released a Rabbids
mouse off the screen
tower defense deck builder game
piece of
for
shit.
iOS and Mac platforms. Enjoy Clash Royale, but wish it was about Rabbids? No, you don't. No one has ever thought that.
No.
But for some reason, Ubisoft decided to make this video game.
No,
I still don't
nobody's
understand
thought
why
that.
they pump so much money into their Rabbids stuff. Though to be fair, the Mario Rabbids games were absolute bangers both, so we can't throw
Yeah,
the
the
baby out with
Rabbids
the
games were
bathwater. So
were
what came out
okay.
over the
They
last
were
2
fine.
weeks? Well, by far and away, the biggest release was Destiny 2, the final shape, which arrived to universal acclaim on June 5th.
Universal
We are now getting to the
acclaim?
back
Are you
end of June,
serious?
So you must be wondering, chill up, where is the final shape review? Well, get this is a true story. I have not even booted it up yet. It launched the same day I had to fly to LA for Summer Games Fest. I was there all week. While I was there, I got my review code for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree, and I'm like, well, I know what I'm doing on the plane ride over.
Your
because
skill
you can't
has
play
increased.
Destiny on a plane. So I started playing Elden Ring, and once I did that, I decided I would see it through. That review is done. It's up on the channel now, and so with all of that out the way, I could finally start
You've been
playing
examined.
Destiny 2, the final shape, and begin the arduous journey that is the review process. I say arduous, but I'm actually fucking pumped because by all accounts, the final shape is peak Destiny. And while that may sound like a low bar to many of you, it is a very high bar to me, conjuring up memories of the Taken King and Forsaken and the Witch Queen. This is supposed to be the expansion to top it all, so I'm very excited to dive in. While you wait for my review, there are plenty of other reviews to sink your teeth into. The final shape currently sits at a mighty 92 on OpenCritic, making it one of the highest rated releases of the entire year and the best rated Destiny expansion of all time. GameSpot wrote it up well when they scored it a 9 out of 10, saying, quote, with a character-driven story and a focus on enhancing its gameplay on nearly every level, the The final shape feels like what Destiny 2 has been trying to be all along, end quote. Interesting that the expansion sits at 81% very positive on Steam, a far cry from Lightfall, which I think hit as low as like 20% when it launched last year. Tremendous result for Bungie. Going to be very interested to see where they plan to take things next. Blockbuster Incorporated is that movie studio simulator we've covered a few times now. It's currently sitting at a very disappointing mixed 47% on Steam, many of the reviews pointing to bugs, a lack of content, and a product that is generally inferior to the 2006 The Movies game that, this one was clearly inspired by. Interestingly though, critics aren't on the same page. They have this at a strong 82 on OpenCritic. There are only like 6 reviews, and none of them are from major outlets. Me personally, I put a lot of stock in Steam reviews, but maybe check back on this one after some patches have rolled through. Remedy decided to cheekily shadow drop that Alan Wake 2 DLC while we're at Summer Games Fest, and unsurprisingly, it's a treat. It's only a few hours long, 3 short and sharp chapters that each tell a unique story, full of side characters from Alan Wake and even Control. Despite its short runtime,
Really?
it leaves a sterling impression, with critics putting it at a strong 84 on OpenCritic. IGN scored it an 8, saying, quote,
If I could have gotten Alan Wake 2 to run, I would have played it.
and it feels like a bit of a tease to play as a version of Control's heroine stripped of her special abilities in the second episode. Even so, the highs I felt during my short return to Alan Wake's universe greatly outweighed the lows, and I'd gladly play through another collection of bite-sized stories if Remedy ever decided to bake another batch, end quote. Our man Edmund also played through them, and here's what he had to say, quote, for those invested in Alan Wake 2's twisting narrative, and especially for those invested in the greater Remedy universe, it's an eye-opening 3 hours that greatly shatters the boundaries and dramatically expands the mind-bending possibilities of the
Could not equip gear set. Why?
For me, it stirred up an incredible excitement for what Remedy will do with the second piece of Alan Wake DLC, Control 2, and the Max Payne remakes, end quote. Clearly, Edmund was a fan. Shin Megami Tensei 5
Oh, it's
Vengeance is an
down?
expanded
It's
version of
down.
the previously Switch-exclusive
That's
JRPG,
why.
now also available on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. As you'd expect from Atlas, it's excellent. It's sitting at a mighty 88 on OpenCritic. PC Gamer raved about it, scoring it a 91 and saying, quote, Vengeance is an easy game to like. It's an epic adventure packed full of surprises with enough bite and strategic depth for the oldest of old hands, and more than enough assistance to help newcomers feel right at home, end quote. Steam reviews for this one have it at an overwhelmingly positive 94%, by the way, so it's clearly high fives all round for this one. Another thing that dropped amidst the Summer Games madness was the Echoes update for Wayfinders. You might remember this as the Digital Extreme published free-to-play looter that had a very rocky launch. After that, DE pulled their support for the game and shuttered their entire publishing label at the same time. We actually interviewed the Airship Studio leads about this, and they revealed to us that they were relaunching the game as a premium product. No microtransactions whatsoever, co-op supported by peer-to-peer networking. It's still an early access release, but the Echoes update seems to have landed really well. On Steam, the game has never broken positive prior to this, but now the game sits at 76% mostly positive, and that number is trending up fast. It was enough to prompt Austin to dive back in since he did the initial review for the game on the channel. We're not doing a video for this one, but Austin did do a write-up over on the Patreon. That's free to everyone, not behind a paywall. TLDR, Austin really likes it, and he found himself surprisingly impressed at how well this plays with this reworked progression model and the newly added content. The game is scheduled to hit 1.0 later this year, so we'll definitely have a full video review for you then. But in the meantime, if you want to check out that write-up, I'll leave a link to it below the like button. Alrighty, so...
Okay, so there's a link to... no, you didn't leave links to any of this. You always say this, but you guys don't actually do it. Like, you didn't leave a link, no. Oh, wait, maybe he did. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah? Oh, there's Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree, huh? Let's hear that. I want to hear that.
Brought to you by NVIDIA and Gigabyte Aorus's range.
Thank you, Skill Up, for the excellent content from my stream. I'd like to sub to your channel.
Super fast, super powered results in games like Alan Wake 2 and Ghost of Tsushima on PC. Click the link below to see how NVIDIA and Gigabyte hardware will transform the way you play, or stick around to the end of the video to learn more. Before we begin, just a note on spoilers, since I know how much this stuff matters in a game like this. I'm going to be showing you only the first 2 major bosses. One of them you might have seen in the previews, the other one was spoken about in the previews. The remaining 8 major bosses I'll leave you to discover for yourself. I will show you some, but not all, of the minor bosses you find in the minor dungeons or whatever. I'll show you some of the map regions, but not the more secret areas that are harder to stumble upon, and I won't show you any of the late game regions since they too are best discovered for yourself. As always, if you'd like to avoid all spoilers, then don't watch any reviews. If you're extra cautious but still curious, then consider listening to this video as you would a podcast. But if you're okay with seeing a few things, then I'm confident this video won't give too much away. Difficult to think of a non-MMO expansion more anticipated than this one. The closest I can think of is Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty, But that was very different because that was, for many people, a chance to give Cyberpunk a second chance. Phantom Liberty promised to fix, augment, or expand many of the game's systems and features that were lacking in the base
Or you
game.
talk about
Many people
Cyberpunk
who
when you
booted up
bring
that
up
expansion
Elden
thought to
Ring.
themselves,
I don't like
"This is the
Cyberpunk. Leave it out of
experience
it.
I was promised. Will this deliver?"
Cyberpunk is a piece of shit. Do not
Very
compare
different
these
starting point
games.
here for Elden Ring's first and only expansion, Shadow of the Erdtree. Here, when people boot up this expansion, they're asking themselves, how do you make Elden Ring better? Like, how do you do that? How do you take one of the greatest video games ever made and improve it? That seems like an impossible task, but it's one that FromSoft have faced and failed many times over their storied 38-year history. They have done it again here in Shadow of the Erdtree, an expansion that is so expansive, that is 2 to 3 times larger than most standalone games in this genre. The new region, the Shadowlands, delivers the same sense of breadth and scale that we experienced in the Lands Between, but delivers that in a more condensed form factor. Crucially, some of the regions are among the most dense and intricate that FromSoft have ever delivered, labyrinthine in their layouts and rewarding curious exploration in a way that few games can match. The combat sandbox is expanded with 8 new weapon categories, a range of new spells, and a number of seals and talismans that will subtly but notably expand buildcraft opportunities. The boss encounters are almost all exceptional. Some of them do feel a little familiar, but most of them combine setting, narrative, and mechanics to incredible effect, and the last boss is some serious bullshit in a good way. It is definitely one of the hardest encounters that Elden Ring delivers, potentially even the hardest, but I'll let the community be the judge of that. Interestingly, I found the narrative shone through here in a way that was easier to connect with than in the base game. Much of Elden Ring's narrative was buried in quest lines, but here the pursuit of Mikola is itself a compelling mystery that kept me engaged from the first moment to the last. I really don't have that many criticisms of Erdtree, to be honest with you. Some minor stuff about the world being a little more tricky to navigate here or there, and some damage scaling stuff at the back end of the game, minor things. I do, however, think at least a little bit about the goals of this expansion and what those goals might have been instead. What I mean by this is, the goal of Erdtree is to provide more Elden Ring, and in this regard, Erdtree is an unqualified success. But what if the goal of this expansion was to deliver experiences that you couldn't get in the main game? What if the goal was to remix aspects of exploration, combat, buildcraft, or boss design?
But they didn't do that.
Do much of that.
They didn't do that,
Some missed
no.
opportunities
Why would they
where
need to?
FromSoft could have brought more innovation to bear. But that is, again,
I need New World to do that, but I don't need fucking Elden Ring to do that,
And
no.
what's here is so much. At least 50 hours of content, all of it just as memorable and effective.
50 hours of content, huh?
Miyazaki said of Erdtree that he wanted us to again feel that sense of discovery, and you do. You
When is
absolutely
Shadow of the Erdtree?
Shadow
I
of
keep
the
forgetting.
Erdtree is FromSoft's victory lap, conscious that what they delivered the first time around was so extraordinary that no one...
June 21st, that's tomorrow. Hey, big day tomorrow. Fuck yeah.
Shadow of the Erdtree begins here at Mohg's palace. Mohg has been trying to reanimate the cocoon body of Mikola, but Mikola has abandoned his flesh and now resides in the Land of Shadow, a space separate from the Lands Between. There, a darkened and festooned Erdtree looms over the horizon, a shadowy inversion of the world above. Here, Mikola journeys forth in search of someone or something, his steps guiding yours as you pursue him from the gravestone plains to the most secret and unknowable reaches of the Land of Shadow. Shadow of the Erdtree is not a sequel to Elden Ring, nor is it an epilogue to events that happened in the main game. It's its own standalone experience that happens alongside your quest to become the Elden Lord. Having said that, there are many story elements and characters that are shared between what transpires in the Lands Between and the Land of Shadow. Indeed, one of the best parts of Erdtree is how much it expands upon much of the lore we discovered as we explored the Lands Between. I'm far from a lore expert, but even I found myself able to make connections and discoveries that deepened my understanding and appreciation of this world. Part of that comes from the fact that Shadow of the Erdtree is much more heavy-handed with its narrative, without going into the territory of delivering a traditional narrative like we see in most other games. If you've played any FromSoft games, you'll surely know what I mean by that. FromSoft games all have a narrative, but its delivery is very circumspect, through allusion, through mutterings of crestfallen NPCs, through architecture and flavor text on items. It's more engaging than most narratives in most video games. but you really have to work to uncover it, assisted in no small part by the lore YouTubers who study it more closely than most of us have time to do. Elden Ring adopted the same approach to storytelling, though it did have a number of quest lines that provided a lot of exposition. The main quest line, though, was kind of just become the Elden Lord, and it would have been easy to miss a lot of the game's storytelling if you were singularly focused on that goal. It's rather different here in Shadow of the Erdtree. Before you even step into the Land of Shadow, you're told that you're to pursue Miquella. When you arrive, one of the first things you see is one of Miquella's crosses, splinters of light that denote where Miquella sheds certain parts of his flesh. At these locations, you'll often meet NPCs or find notes left behind, each of them talking about their relationship to Miquella or providing a report on their progress as they pursue him. Both you and almost everyone else you meet is there to not only find Miquella, but to understand what he's doing here in the Land of Shadow. That gives Shadow of the Erdtree a lot of narrative pull, far more so than the base game delivered. The entire thing feels like a mystery where you're following the clues that Miquella left behind.
Yeah, I didn't like that element of it, kind of.
With other NPCs as you all try to solve the enigma that is Miquella. What's so deft about this is that it never strays too far from the classic FromSoft approach to storytelling. The focus remains on show, don't tell, and no NPC interaction or note you find will ever give you a clear-cut answer to any of the questions swirling about. But it does give you enough to stay deeply engaged with events. And I think that adopting this storytelling approach for the main storyline within this DLC is the most innovative addition to the Elden Ring formula, and also one of the most rewarding, delivering a compelling narrative in its own right, while also inviting an entire new wave of fans to tumble deep down the lore rabbit hole.
Long ago, Queen Marika commanded Sir Messmer to purge the Tower folk, a cleansing by fire. It's no wonder the Hornsent holds the Erdtree in contempt. That aside, man is by nature a creature of conquest, and in this regard, the Tower folk are no different.
There is one aspect of Shadow of the Erdtree that feels like it's a response to criticism leveled at the base game. It's the structure of this expansion. More than a few people felt that Elden Ring was bloated, lacking the focus and restraint that FromSoft games were known for. They lamented just how long it took to play through Elden Ring, with your average playthrough clocking in at 80 to 100 hours, a lot of minor dungeons and reused bosses to pad things out. It's not a view that I personally share, but I can certainly understand how people could feel this way. I think these people are going to be impressed with the way that Shadow of the Erdtree is laid out, giving you a lot more agency with regards to how long a playthrough might take. So you should know that you can finish this expansion in like 15 to 20 hours if you choose to beeline the main objective. That's kind of what I did, but I got lost a lot along the way, so I think I finished this game in around about 25 hours. But yeah, had I more luck in uncovering where to go next, I absolutely could have shaved that down to less than 20 hours. That's because of the 10 major bosses present in Shadow of the Erdtree, only a handful of them are required to progress. The rest of them are purely optional, so you can just not do them if you don't want to, or you can come back to them later. Same goes for the map. I'd argue that only about half the map you'll uncover is on the critical path, the rest is, again, totally optional. Similarly, there are way fewer of those small greystone dungeons full of those annoying imp dudes.
Is there?
That end in a minor boss battle that unlocks some new gear. Having said that, the greystone dungeons that are there are far more elaborate in their design, in their size, in their rewards, and one of them is way more rewarding than I would have expected, but I'll let you discover that for yourself. So when it comes to structure and playtime, I would actually slice up Shadow of the Erdtree in 3 ways. There's a beeline playthrough that's like 15 to 20 hours, very lean. It's all about the major dungeons, the narrative, and the epic boss battles. That's a playthrough that's going to feel a lot like those more curated Dark Souls or Bloodborne experiences of the past. Next, we have your more meandering playthrough, where you aim to fight every major boss and see most of what the map has to offer. I'm just finishing up that sort of playthrough right now, and I think I'll land at around about 40 hours for that. Finally, there's your completionist playthrough, where you do absolutely everything the expansion has to offer. Speaking to other people who are doing that right now, it sounds like that'll land at around about 60 or so hours. Far more than the base game, Shadow of the Erdtree gives you the ability to choose how much of it you want to play, and what's there feels tighter and leaner and more focused. It does feel like a response to those that found Elden Ring to be too unwieldy, but in making that response, FromSoft haven't sacrificed any of the scale that most players loved about the base game. It's a very surgical intervention that delivers solutions without compromise, and it also makes Shadow of the Erdtree extremely replayable in a way that the base game often struggles to be given its sheer size. course, the true measure of this game's replayability is mostly determined by the combat sandbox, where each new weapon or spell can open up entirely new ways to play through the game again using a new build. In this regard, you might argue that Shadow of the Erdtree delivers hundreds of hours of new content, since the 8 new weapon categories, new spells, talismans, and seals all deliver a notable expansion to the game's itemization, and that's setting aside the 10 new legendary weapons that each deliver unique, game-changing L2 attacks. Don't worry, I won't spoil any of those, you'll find them for yourself. I wasn't able to test every weapon properly given the dex and arcane limitations on my build. I also didn't manage to find any throwing weapons or reverse hand swords during my playthrough, but I did test what I could. The light greatsword is a real standout with an elegant flowing moveset. There's a 6-hit combo on the R1 and the R2 is a quick gap closing sweep. It's a very, very satisfying weapon to use. The Great Katana is similarly excellent, delivering the wide arcs you'd expect. However, the L2 on this is actually an overhead stance. Holding it down opens up a whole new moveset with both a heavy hitting drop on the R2 and a quick bouncing combo on the R1. The best feeling new weapon is actually not a weapon at all. It's the new hand-to-hand thing. For a game that is so leveraged into melee weapons, FromSoft really outdid themselves with how good this feels. Every move just flows so smoothly from one to the next, with punches on your R1 and kicks on your R2. There are different Ashes of War for this weapon type, but this one was a palm strike, allowing me to charge it up before unleashing a focus strike with a small AoE effect. Beast Claws were probably my least favorite new weapon type. They're very jittery with some movements and jumps that can sometimes overshoot enemy hitboxes. Still, it could just be a practice thing, but it is a nice addition to the game given that this is an entirely new fighting style we haven't seen before. The thrusting shield is a thrusting shield. You can equip it in your offhand for a quick L1 strike, but you can also mainhand it for a full range of moves that are pretty standard for any melee weapon type really. Finally, the perfume bottles. To be clear, these are not consumables. They are a permanent weapon type that does not consume any FP when you use them. You can mainhand them, but I suspect they'll sit in most people's offhands when you need a good source of free magic damage to exploit an enemy's magic damage weakness. In addition to all of that, there are plenty of new spells and incantations added to the game. I don't exactly know how many, but it's a lot. Personally, I build into Faith, and so I was able to make use of a number of new fire incantations, like one that briefly rains fire in a select area, and another one that sends me high up in the air for a brief moment before pile driving back down in a big ball of flame. Part of the damage that you would have seen there came from my new seal, which specifically buffs fire damage for mesmer-type fire spells. I'm sure there are other seals hidden away somewhere which buff other incantation types. That already has a lot of impact on the viability of certain incantation-focused builds. Much the same could be said of talismans. I found over a dozen new talismans, many of them upgrades of those found in the base game, but many of them entirely new, and they too open up the buildcraft side of the game considerably, given how central talismans are to builds. There are also a number of new enemy types here, but not too many. Most of the areas you'll explore are populated with a mix of old and new, but even the new ones still fit into overall categories that feel familiar. Something similar could be said of some of the boss design. Most of the new major bosses are exceptional. Some of them are truly incredible, to be honest. I think the bar set by this dancing dragon boss design is what you should reasonably expect from most of the other boss encounters throughout the rest of the game, which is to say, it is fantastic, truly. But yeah, some of the major bosses do feel like retreads of encounters we've already done, and you do fight minor bosses who are little more than invading phantoms, or bosses we've already fought in the base game. It's a minor complaint in the big scheme of things. You're going to walk away from Shadow of the Erdtree remembering these new epic encounters. You're not going to be dwelling on the fact that you have to fight the Tree Sentinel yet again. One thing I noticed about the bosses was their level of aggression in the opening seconds of a fight. Most Elden Ring bosses will kind of chill a little bit when you step through that fog wall, giving you the time you need to summon a Spirit Ash and maybe cast a few buffs. Not here. Basically, every boss you fight will cast a range spell or do some crazy ass gap closer the second you're in there, immediately getting up in your grill. It puts you on the back foot immediately and makes every encounter feel much more tense as a result. So at this point, you might be wondering about overall difficulty, and it's kind of a complex question to answer. I went in at around about level 120-ish. I wasn't on New Game Plus. It felt challenging, but not unfair, and as I very quickly leveled up and collected more of the Scadu Tree fragments, which are the collectibles that make you stronger in the Land of Shadow, It felt good, until I got to the later game areas and the final boss where shit gets really wild. You just start facing a lot of dudes with infinite poise and a lot of health, and they have a quick combo that'll 3-hit you, etc. I've never been a big fan of that sort of enemy design and scaling, since it kind of encourages you to just run past them. But overall, I would say that Erdtree isn't significantly more challenging than the base game. However, as I said, I played it on a first playthrough, not New Game Plus. Other people I know were playing it on New Game Plus 7 characters, and they were getting clapped. I spoke to more than one person who just couldn't finish the last boss because it was too hard. So I would say that overall, Erdtree's difficulty is fine unless you're playing on high-level New Game Plus runs, at which point you might struggle based on your skill level. What makes all of this easier are the scattered tree fragments and the revered spirit ashes. These are collectibles you'll find throughout the world, and they buff both you and your spirit ashes. They provide an increase to survivability and damage, and that is it. It's you find them, and you use them, and you get stronger. They are not an easy mode, in the sense that Shadow of the Erdtree does not become easy when you use them. They're more about keeping up with the aggressive scaling that's present in this region than they are making things easier for you. Having said that, if you are nuts, then you don't have to use them, and you can walk around as a naked level 1 character with no scattered true buffs. I do look forward to watching those streams, to be honest. Personally, I look at this progression system, and it's one of the few things that disappointed me about Shadow of the Erdtree. It's just a straight stat boost, and that's pretty boring. I'm sure there are good reasons why it exists, allowing From to apply a different difficulty and scaling model to the zone, but it's just not very interesting when it could have been so many other things. Like, imagine if that buff could be applied to things like weight carry limits, allowing you to wear more armor or carry a third weapon. Imagine if it increased status build-up rates. What if it vastly improved FP pools, allowing melee focus builds to cast more spells? What if it changed the scaling of the weapons you acquired in the Land of Shadow, incentivizing you to adopt a new arsenal? I'm just totally spitballing random ideas here, but the point is that a straight stat boost doesn't make the game any different to play, whereas I would have loved to have seen a progression system that opened up new opportunities not available in the base game. Elden Ring's combat sandbox is so unbelievably vast, but most of us will only experience a small fraction of it because we only play through it once. I would have loved that progression system to give me more freedom to experiment with different weapons, armor, incantations, and spells, since that would have been a really brilliant way to showcase and celebrate just how much there is to experience in Elden Ring. That was actually something that God of War Ragnarok's Valhalla DLC did. Its roguelike structure and rewards economy incentivized you to play differently, and it really connected me with parts of the combat sandbox that I never really connected with, even though I spent 40 hours playing the base game. I would have loved to have seen something similar here too. But again, I will reiterate that that is not a criticism of Shadow of the Erdtree. That's just me kind of wishlisting stuff. But I did think about that a lot as I continued to journey through the Land of Shadow. Similarly, I sometimes found myself wishing that the regions had about them more identity. Not visually, mind you, since they all look remarkable. I'm talking more about what it's like to be in them and explore them. We joke a lot about poison swamps because FromSoft loves that shit, and there's some poison swamps here too, make no mistake. There's also plenty of rolling fields and old ruins and grand Anor Londo style architecture. But there was really only one region in the Land of Shadow where I felt like there was nothing like this in the base game. I won't spoil it for you, but it involves a gameplay style that is incredibly tense, and it really stood out as a highlight for how well the visual, scenario, and level design coalesced to create something that you just couldn't get in the Lands Between. I think it's telling that the only two substantive points of feedback I have in relation to Shadow of the Erdtree aren't criticisms per se. They're just asking for more in a package that is so massive and so dense and so impressive that it's almost unreasonable to ask for more. As I said at the top of this video, name another expansion to a single-player game that delivers 50+ hours of content, let alone content at this level of quality. Your average Souls-like is between 50 to 20 hours long, and here's an expansion that is delivering 2 to 3 times that. That is crazy. And that's setting aside the replayability that comes from these new sandbox elements. Entirely new weapon types that offer not only new mechanics, but often new fantasies to roleplay. Never before could you be the lone martial arts warrior wandering the Lands Between, but now you can. Never before could you strike with the bestial ferocity that the beast claws enable. Now you can do that. Want to be one of those annoying spinning perfume enemies that wear bed sheets over their head? Now you too can be that annoying. This replayability is further enhanced by the structural streamlining that Shadow of the Erdtree delivers, trimming back on the amount of less impressive dungeons or repeated encounters, and providing a quick and clean beeline path to the final showdown, giving you a lot of agency over how fast or how slow this Shadow of the Erdtree experience might be for you. Personally, I really love how they approach the narrative here. The mystery of Mikola has all the hallmarks of FromSoft's aloof and opaque storytelling, but it's centered in a way that makes your journey feel like a puzzling pilgrimage. Clues and half-truths and notes left behind. With each footfall, you consider not only where you're going next, but why Mikola went that way first. It's a subtle shift in storytelling, but such an important and successful one, and I do hope that FromSoft approach future stories in this way, because not since Sekiro have I felt so connected to a top-line FromSoft narrative. It is somewhat bittersweet that Shadow of the Erdtree marks the end of our Elden Ring journey. FromSoft have confirmed that this will be the only Elden Ring expansion, but I'm heartened by a recent PC Gamer interview with Miyazaki, where he said that he still had not made his ideal fantasy RPG. He said, quote, "While Elden Ring is not quite it, it's pretty close. It's getting close," end quote. If this is close, then I think we're all in for one hell of a treat when Miyazaki delivers the game he's dreaming about. For now, he and everyone else on his team should take a bow, because Shadow of the Erdtree is the perfect curtain call for one of the greatest games ever made. An expansion that manages the impossible task of making us feel that same feeling we had when we stepped out of that tomb and beheld Limgrave for the very first time. Always extremely proud to be able to partner with this video's sponsors, NVIDIA and Gigabyte Aorus. That's because together they put out the single best range of GPU hardware on the market, the RTX 40 series of GPUs. 40 series GPUs deliver the absolute cutting edge in graphical processing hardware. This generation's Ada Lovelace architecture delivers an unprecedented and unparalleled level of processing throughput, enabling high settings and higher frame rates in all the games that you love. The hardware is also custom built for immersion, with cores specifically dedicated to ray tracing, a technology that results in the most realistic modeling and recreation of light we've seen in gaming ever. The 40 series GPUs are more than just their hardware. It's also about the suite of technology tools that are enabled by that hardware, like DLSS for example. NVIDIA DLSS 3 uses AI to interlace additional frames, resulting in more than double the frame rate in select titles, while NVIDIA Reflex works with your monitor to significantly reduce input delay, a huge buff in competitive games where split-second reaction timing is key. It goes even further with how NVIDIA 40 series GPUs support what you do outside of the game. NVIDIA encoding technology will improve your live streams since it delivers more clarity more efficiently, and NVIDIA Broadcast uses AI to block out unwanted background noise during your streams and video recordings. On top of that, NVIDIA is always pushing out new driver updates that are the result of direct partnership with developers, making sure that your hardware is able to deliver the absolute best performance possible. If it's an RTX 40 series GPU you're after, then look no further than Gigabyte Aorus, one of the most trusted and respected names in GPU production. Gigabyte Aorus's range of RTX 40 series GPUs deliver market-leading thermals, build quality, and reliability. I've used them for many, many years, well before they supported the channel, and they've always been exceptional. Speaking of supporting the channel, NVIDIA and Gigabyte Aorus have generously donated a custom-built PC to be given away to one lucky person living in ANZ. The PC is made in-house by Gigabyte Aorus and features an NVIDIA RTX 4070. We're going to be giving this thing away on Sunday during a 12-hour charity live stream we're doing for Game on Cancer, a fantastic organization that helps fund groundbreaking cancer research. We're going to have special guests and lots of crazy shenanigans, so I hope you'll join us. But if you can't make it, or you're just interested in grabbing an RTX 40 series GPU for yourself, then I've left a link to Gigabyte Aorus's website below. A big thanks to NVIDIA and Gigabyte Aorus for sponsoring the video, and a big thanks to you for watching it.
Shadow of the Erdtree. Randomized Uncharted Waters, New Horizons. What's Uncharted Waters, New Horizons?
I'm just gonna let this play out here.
Okay.
Good timing. Oh, well, okay. In case you're just joining us, we're playing Uncharted Waters, New Horizons, randomized, flavor blasted, blast processed, and we're playing as Pietro. And Pietro is probably my favorite character that you can play as. For a lot of reasons. He's a smarmy, he's a scoundrel, if you will. And he's also, he's got the easiest scenario to play. Not to say that it's the easiest, well, I don't know, it's probably about the easiest scenario in terms of overall difficulty, but you can just do whatever the heck you want. It's your life. It's now or never. And right now, there are many ways. Weird how that was playing the same song. Just half a measure.
I just wish it wasn't like Super Nintendo graphics.
It looks terrible. Oh, I should actually.
It looks terrible, but it looks cool. Cool, you have a boat?
Go. I'm gonna go.
Where are you going? Yeah, like... Oh, wow. Now, why not, though? Oh, wow. What an interesting concept. Yeah, why not? Okay, well, let's see. Let's take a look, huh?
It's the Amazon water lily in the freezing north. Okay. Doesn't have to make sense.
What the fuck is this thing?
Who told you? Amazon water lily. Okay, so this is where the continents or the passages block. So we're gonna go back. Maybe run into some discoveries here along the polar ice cap level. I don't know if the randomizer puts them here. The stock game is very happy to. But I don't know about this randomizer.
Why will you not mine? Did you fuck up the keyboard or something? You won't mine. It's driving me crazy. Ugh.
Double back to that island chain just to make sure I'm good. I think I'm pretty sure I'm good. Pretty.
Interesting game. Interesting concept.
Belgrade, the port that no one goes to.
Supply port Belgrade, huh?
Experienced players studiously avoid going to Belgrade. Until now, exactly. Truly, these are uncharted waters.
What's the name of it? Randomized Uncharted Waters, New Horizons.
Navigation hazards, as you call them. The mermaid, the ghost ship, St. Elmo's fire.
It's cool, but I want to see further. Like, what's the combat? Yeah, like that. Is there combat and stuff? It looks kind of boring, frankly. Like, it looks... If it seems like it would be a cool, like handheld game on an airplane for a single day or something. But I don't think this is a good game in terms of. You know, I bought one that looked interesting that I want to return and look at a review of again. Something Splattercat did. Yeah, the old survival that I missed for years. Alrim 5 tips for getting started, right? Let's. Oh no. Yeah, this guy kind of annoyed me. I want to see like gameplay introduction, right? Yeah, like let's see this game. Thank you, Zuljin Gaming, for the excellent content from stream. I'd like to sub to your channel.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ballroom, an open world, old school, hybrid turn-based RPG with survival elements. My name is Zuljin, and I am an RPG-aholic. I've been playing RPGs for a very, very, very long time, and this RPG reminds me a lot of a game that is very near and dear to my heart, which is called Ultima Online. I played Ultima for years, probably 14 years of my life on and off, and this game reminded me a lot of it. Now,
Really?
it is quite dialogue heavy, but it has some really, really cool elements in it, so I thought I would try it out on the channel. Ultimately, it's up to you guys to see how long it lasts. Games like this are typically very, very long, and I can't do like a 100-part series on the channel if it's not going to hold interest for my audience. So you guys gotta let me know if you like it. Give me some dap on that like button to show you support for the series, and if you're new to the channel and you haven't already done so, you can subscribe. I'm gonna move through the character creation setup. It's going to be a little bit long, and some of it, the game is very dialogue heavy, so I'm gonna be going over a little bit of it, but not too much in detail, because I'd like to get to the actual meat and potatoes of the game to see if you guys will like it. So, let's start a new game. I was only a child when we fled the kingdom and took refuge in Darkwood. A lot has happened in the past 20 years while we have been living here. Everyone has a part of the life of the village. Everyone has a part in the life of the village. We have become a real community. Now that I've grown up, it's time for me to decide what part I will play. People say the woods protect us from the filthy world that Ballroom has become. They forget that place we live in was once a place of horrors. The dark history of the forest keeps trouble outside. The stories about why we had to hide in the woods.
I don't need you to read all that to me. I don't really need you to ruin that either. Like, I want you to show me the combat. Show me. I don't care about the talking or any of that stuff. I'll find that all on my own. I own this game. I'm just looking for the combat.
Looks like speed potion. I like the sound of that. You can select a lot of these things. Usually there will old letters of documents inside these white bags. All right, couple item lists. We'll take that. Time we spent together. All right, it might give us some history or whatever. Burnt nightstand. To repair 3 wood or 3 pine wood and 2 nails. So it looks like we're gonna have to go and grab some nails and investigate a little bit of what's going on here. All right, so I can open my inventory with I, and you'll see that there's a ton of things here. There's a map, there's some alchemy, ingredients, weapons, and tools. Some of these are used automatically, like saws, or let's take, for instance, the axe. Used to chop down trees, but it's automatically used. So if I just go up to a tree and start clicking on it, I'll probably grab that. Simple trap. Drag the trap onto a highlighted area. Combinable. And animal taming trap. That's what I'm talking about. With this trap, you're able to tame wild animals. Your hunting skill determines what kind of animals you can tame. Taming is not an easy process. You might have to try multiple times. If the taming is successful, your previous pet will be set free. Man,
cool, you can tame stuff and all that.
Free yet?
Can you zoom in?
Okay. So
wait, he was zoomed in, wasn't he?
There's also some armor, weapons, materials that.
Oh, I don't know. It's. This is too. I mean, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game.
Dawn. The smoke is gone. I'll be fine.
Yeah, it's zoomed in.
It's raining heavily tonight as we walk back from the hunt.
Wow, it's now that's cool. If you can zoom in that far, it might actually be really good. But it needs zoom like that, and I honestly I would like a 3D camera.
I have a strange feeling that I can see that Fox is worried.
Okay, I don't care. Let's go. Blah 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 blah. I don't want you to ruin this. Okay, you can command pets, really?
Here, so I can drink and eat. and this is what I was talking about. I played the game just a little bit just to get started and see how it goes. And in normal mode, these would drop pretty darn drastically. So, in fact, by the time I finished reading the entirety of the dialogue, I was already hungry and thirsty. So let's check into how we eat here. So we can go to, that is for, where's food? Oh, that was food. All right, so we have some raw deer meat, some bread, restores 30 health and 45% hunger. Looks like these give you mana, hunger, and thirst. Magical seeds, that we can plant those. And this gives you raw deer meat. Wait, range crit. What? I thought that was a water sack. Hold on. Yeah, it is. I don't know what that was doing. Maybe it was just because that other menu was up. So we can hold that here. But it does restore health, so we're going to avoid using that as much as possible right now. Let's see here. Over the years, I became familiar with the wildlife, frogs, rats, and some of the other large larvae that are not aggressive. But every other animal will try to eat me. Brown told me to pick up every plant I see so that I could experiment with them at the alchemy table. There are a number of berry bushes growing here. Some of the berries have powerful medicinal effects. So, let's see. Ouch, what? Something dealt 129 physical damage to you. Oh, it's this. Oh, wow. This bush hurt me. Dang, man. That was kind of rough. Okay. Rose hips. Regenerates health when consumed. Restores 12 health.
I got this game for $3.50. $3.50. And I was like, that's a great price for a game like this. Look.
Grab that.
And I was like, man, this seems like the deepest fucking single-player game I've ever seen before. And I was like, okay, well, I'll take it for $3.50. Yeah, why not? I made some pretty good money here today. Like 40 mil, 50 mil. And I made fucking like 90 mil before I came before that.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
I was the first one.
Docking request accepted. Docking request accepted. Warp drive active. Warp drive active. Docking request accepted.
Okay, now we're going out in a venture. No, well, yeah, like now it would be good to bring miasmoses out, and yeah, because I've got ventures just sitting at the station. So now I'm busy, but that's okay. I've got 2 hours left in the shift. I'm gonna make some more money, but I'm done with safety today. I'm done with like fucking around with them or anything. I don't want to worry about them. Okay, made some more money today. Hells yeah. Did pretty well there, I would say. Didn't lose a ship or anything. Yeah, those guys are fucking hardcore targeting, you know. So, okay, so we go out in Miasmos. I thought I had a Miasmos here, but I guess I don't. No, both of those ships are out there now. She's got a Tristan and, or sorry, not Tristan, but a Miasmos and a thing. So yeah, so now. I guess I go out Miasmos, yeah. Oh, no, we do have two Miasmos. We have two Miasmos. Oh, I'm sorry, I misread. Okay, so I want Cladistic. I want you to sort this all by name now because it's chaotic, and I want you to stack it too. Yeah. So I'm looking for Cladistic, and oh, in this council is those, and I want. I don't know. Yeah, glorification filaments. We'll take 2 of them. Or what, like 3? We'll take 3 with us. Glorification. And cladistic. No. And cladistic. 3 cladistic. Glorification and cladistic. Good. Okay, and then glorification. I'm gonna stack all glorification. What time is it now? It's 7. Yeah, that's perfect. Get off for about 9:30 or so. And go shopping and then go to bed. I'm fucking exhausted. Looking for glorification, Divana. 3 of them. Divana, but where is the other one? I can't seem to find it. Cladistic, here we go. 3. Okay, so then we're gonna fleet up with each other. Foreign fleet with. Okay, we're just going to double check the mining holds of the Miasmoses. These things, do they have afterburners and stuff? Oh, no, they don't. Without 10 MN ABs, they're kind of worthless. I could cannibalize other ships, I suppose. I could borrow the booster off of the Mackinac, I suppose. I could just strip fitting the Mackinac. I don't know. I'll just make it active and I'll take the I want to unfit the 10MN afterburner off this. Can I do that? No, not without getting in the ship. That's okay. We'll steal the boosters off of the Mackinacs. That actually works. It is a valid thing to do. I don't have to go anywhere, which is helpful. So then, yeah, unfit this thing here. Honestly, I should do all of it, really. It's all just sort of... anyways, yep, and then make the Miasmos active again. And make this Mackinac active. Get in the fitting. Unfit. Okay, good. So... Oops, now, did I get, like, an invite that I didn't accept? Is that what happened here? I can't see... Yes, no, there. And, So... Let's see. So, Divana, Cladistic, yes. And then, and then in the item hanger, I need to get this 10MN afterburner on. 10MN afterburner on. And then we undock. Undock.
Warp drive active.
So cool. Now stop. What you do there, I need you to actually, like, do what I told you to do. I told you to go there, and I told you to warp fleet point within 0. Do it again.
Warp drive active.
Did you DC or what? Oh my god. Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. Oh my god. What?
Docking request accepted.
Yeah, I see that. What was your malfunction here? Because you didn't get in the fleet or whatever. What the fuck was this? Confirm. Goddamn, so dumb. You're glitched or something dumb. Fucking piece of shit software. Okay, I need you to repair this ship. I forgot that it was all fucked up. Peril. Okay, undock. There's a beats of quarters at 3 p.m. Maybe I will caffeinate and pull a double today. I don't know. It's Thursday, isn't it? Yeah, it's Thursday. And tomorrow is Shadow of the Erdtree. I'm going to play Elden Ring like all day tomorrow. So, yeah, maybe I do go hard today and I order pizza for dinner and I'll go shopping in the morning before Shadow of the Erdtree. Are you gonna attack me? Yes, you are, you son of a fucking bitch. Oh my god. Fucking dumb. Leave me alone. Stop. I did not fuck up. I didn't fuck up. Fucking annoying. Okay, so jump to you. Gonna go in the fleet. I'm gonna go to you. Go.
Warp drive active.
Okay, so and then yeah, no, I'm all set. Yeah, sweet. So what? Wow, you took the mouse off my screen again, you fucking idiot. Stupid goat. Die, goat. Okay, here we go. Or no, are you here yet? No, you're not here. You're jumping. Okay. Back out to Poke Van. Ooh, Kino. Kino's good. So, gotta look at personal assets nearby. Cannot autopilot.
Warp drive active. Warp drive active.
So cool. Oh, I forgot to do PI because this op ran too long. But in the morning, I will bring PI out here. First thing I do. First time I get it. Oh, no. Tomorrow I do Elden Rings. So I guess I'll do PI in a couple of days. I'm going to do PI in Poke Van. It's really like on my agenda now. I'll be losing money every day that I don't. It's stupid. Because I want to live out here. I want to attend their ops in the morning. I want to go to the PvP ops when they're called. And today I've got a PvP op in 3 hours, and I believe I will caffeinate. Ooh, what the hell is that? Oh, it's like a lava planet. That's so cool. So cool looking. I like Poke Van. Looks, it's such a more interesting place, you know? That looks fucking sweet. That's a star? That's the sun, I guess. Weird. Yes. No, I think it's... I think it's like...
Warp drive active.
Oh god, I have not been
Warp
doing the other
drive
jumps.
active.
I've not been doing the other jumps. There's no way I'm
Warp
not
drive
dead.
active.
How am I not dead? Go, 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 go. I'm not doing the other jumps. I guess I have been. I've been doing most of them. Yeah, no, I've been doing okay, I guess. I just decloaked there and kind of phased out because there was so many jumps anyways. Gotta watch that. I'll lose ships doing that. Now I want to tour the planets in my system to look at what they look like and which ones I want to do and what they offer and stuff. And I can do that in an IBIS, and I'll probably be able to do that unmolested, I think. Jumping planets, they'd have to be actively hunting my and there's no way they're going to hunt like an IBIS, you know? Like the most basic free ship in the game. Basically, it's rock and torch, you know? They're not going to hunt a naked.
Warp drive active.
Ah.
Warp drive active.
I love Poke Fan. I don't know why, but this scary, scary place feels so safe to me. It's because the local is not active. They don't know you're there unless they're physically fucking watching you. Now look, there's a wreck of a Caldari Elite right there. Now I wish I had seen that right there. Now okay, what system was that? I don't know what system that was. Cryrold. Okay, Cryrold. It's too late. Yeah, but like man, I wonder like man, that ship might have had like some good money on it actually. I should maybe come back with an IBIS. There's a saber and a flycatcher. They jumped. I don't want to show. They don't know I'm here. Go, 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 go.
Warp drive.
I got
active.
so lucky. I got so lucky. But I was good. It was good I was staggered. It's good I wasn't both there. I could have lost both of them. I was so lucky. Did you see him go right past me? That was insane. I like that. They don't know I'm there. They have no idea I'm there. Unless they physically fucking see me. They don't know I'm there.
Warp drive.
I
active.
fucking love that. That's how EVE always should have been. Like, the local's cool if you want to compete in it, like, you know. But I really don't think they should be able to tell that you're fucking there. There's way too much harassment in this game. They should be able to track that you're there. I think that's kind of dumb. Like, Rust, Rust is really cool because you have no fucking idea who's there. You have an idea of how many people are on the server, but you don't have an idea of where they are, what they're doing. They could be outside your door. They could be plotting against you. You don't know. You aren't in their base. You don't know what they're doing. And in EVE Online, you do know. You do know when there's 150 people in the same system as you. You do know that. You are not stupid. You have this like overall internet sense that there's like 150 people flying ships there. You just know this. It's something about the game that they wanted, but I don't like it, frankly. I would prefer to live. I think PokeVen was a brilliant idea, and I think people will forget this place, and I think it's good.
Requested.
I think people have forgotten this place, and I think it's very good. I will like live here in peace, and even like if I ever pick up like an EVE stalker, they can't find me here. Not really. They don't know where. I mean, they couldn't do it. They could. They could come to the system, but that's it. They'll never know where I am, though. I mean, unless they're watching the stream or whatever. I mean, you know, but it's even then. The investments are something where like there's really no point. There's no point. The amount of time and effort and money that would cost. There's no point. I love it.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, so yeah, and then we go out venture. We fill a thing. Board the venture. Wait. What? Where is my venture? Oh. Wait, yeah, like what? Now, what happened here? Where's my fucking venture? Wait, must be at a different station or something? No. Where is my fucking venture at? Like, what? No, there should be a venture at this fucking station. There is. You're just not seeing it. It's glitched. God damn it. Drop, damn it. You're glitched. You're like fucked up or something. Get out of this thing. You can't see this venture that's in this station right now. Did I come to the wrong station? No. I'm at the right station. Oh, I'm on the I'm sorry, there. Oh, I was on the wrong video. Oh well, that's okay. Okay, where is this venture? Why aren't you showing it to me? You say it's in the personal assets. Search again. Set destination. Moon 7. Oh, I did put it in the wrong one. I put it in the wrong one. Okay. Well then, so no, just go as a pod.
Warp drive active.
Sokyu.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted. Docking permission requested. Docking
Nope.
request accepted.
Nope.
Warp drive active. Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, we're gonna tour these Pokeven planets now. Here's the first one. It's a lava planet.
Warp drive active.
Cool. My station has fire going out the top. I wish I could look outside really bad. I want to do a POS because how would they ever fucking find it? I mean, they could. I want to put a Caldari station up here outside one of these planets. It would be so cool. So cool. Yeah, and I'll do I'll do this one. Fucking awesome. Oh, there's a customs office. Okay. So cool. So there's the first customs office. There's the first planet. So I guess I'll take notes, right? I need 6 customs offices or whatever it is, or whatever number it is. So I'm going to come to the notepad and I'm going to leave a planetary interaction. No, I'm gonna just go to all notes and I'm gonna do a new note for planetary interaction. It'll be everything I do about this, right? So first we're gonna take notes of my planets, right, in Pokeven 6 system. Auto, what is it now? It's like Auto New. No, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I was typing. new. $15 million from a hypernet. Cool. Well, it's all money. 368. My planet's in Pokemon system. Auton. The first one, I guess I gotta take the notepad off of this because it's like kind of annoying to consult to it. Yeah, there. So we're taking a notepad out for a minute. I can put it back in docket when I'm done, but I'll pull it out and use it for now. Eve is the MMO system I always wanted for like WoW. It just didn't have, WoW did not have the quality of life. It really didn't. I am trying to see if. Alright, so 10. No, just erase all of that. And now we're gonna drag it. That's an easier way to do it. And the first one is this place. So the first one is this one. This is the planet. It's just show planet info. The first one is Planet Lava Autonomy 1 or whatever. Yeah, so view planetary industry. I'm going to need a lava command center. Cool. Ooh, I want that. Fuck yes, it looks cool. So-called lava planets, properly magmatic planets, fall into one of three groups. Solar magmatics, which orbit sufficiently close to their star that the surface never cools enough to solidify. Gravitational magmatics, which experience gravitational shifts sufficiently strong to regularly and significantly fracture cooling crusts. And magmatoids, which are largely unexplained reasons simply incapable of cooling and forming a persistent crust. All three types generally exhibit the same external phenomena, huge red-orange lava fields being a defining feature, but the latter two types are sometimes capable of briefly solidifying for a period measured in years or perhaps decades. Okay, so then we come next to the next planet, which is Autonomy 2, which is a temperate. We're going to warp to that one.
Warp drive.
Also, I want you to track it. Yeah, track that. Which way are we going? Yeah. Oh, that's the planet? Okay. Cool. Yeah, looks cool. It's a temperate planet. Customs office. I want to warp to within 0.
Warp drive active.
So this is the customs office for it. So cool. Broadcast now, recursive computing module, self-harmonizing power cord, and wetware mainframe. Okay, well, okay, so there's a processing thing. Access the customs office. Oh, okay, this is how you get your loot out and all this. So, let's look at the planet. Interesting. So, okay, that's an interesting one, but I don't think I'm going to get a temperate one. So we need